Today, we are going over Magic Studio. There are 8 apps in Magic Studio, and I'm going to deep dive into each one of them. Okay, so this is going to be pretty cool because I'm going to show you all 8 of the Magic Studio apps. So we might not go exactly in order because there's a method to my madness. Here's just a general beginning of a draft of some kind of design. So I've got this picture. If I make this a little bigger so you can see, maybe I don't want that background. Click on the picture. If you click edit, this menu pops up and we've got Magic Studios, and all 8 apps from Magic Studio are right there. So we're gonna click background remover, and there, it removed the background. No surprise. If it removed more than you wanted or not enough, you would click it again and it takes you into this kind of deep dive of editing. So let's say this was part of the background. If you notice, very subtly, there's a circle right in the middle of that. If I adjust the size, that adjusts the size of what I'm gonna delete or erase. If I wanna restore some, so first let's erase. So there, erases, kind of makes sense. Restore, maybe I wanted this table. So notice how you can see the original behind the checkerboard. If you don't want to see the original, you can click that off right here next to show original. I like to see what I had before and what I have now. So maybe I want to restore this portion of it. I can just click and drag and kind of paint over that section. All right, and then I click done. And there we go. So that's background remover. Now let's click it again. Let's go to, I'm just gonna restore that. I'm gonna undo just so I can show you all the things. So next is background generator. Now if I click this, I can describe a scene. So this looks like it's books and coffee on a table, I don't know, in a living room or something. So let's put this scene in a coffee shop. And you click generate, and it's going to output 4 different options. And from these options, I can just click around and decide which one I like. So we'll just pick one. I like that one. All right. So then I say done, and there we go. So we have a whole new scene. So that is that. Let's go back to edit. Now let's do Magic Eraser. If I click Magic Eraser, so you have some options here. You have brush, which means same with the deep dive of background remove. You have a circle and you can erase what you want. You would color over it and click erase. It's probably confused at what I just highlighted. Oh, but look at that. It erased the handle. So it uses its AI technology to try and figure out, okay, so what's she trying to get rid of here? And then it fills in the gaps. So that's pretty awesome. If I undo that, if I go on click, it's gonna scan that picture and assume where all the things are that you might wanna click and remove. So now if I just hover, I can literally click on that mug, erase it, and now it's gone, and it's scanned again everything that's left. So that is pretty awesome. If I undo that, another option is foreground, so it's gonna sense what's closest to your view, and then you could say erase. And this helps you avoid having to click everything one at a time. I'm gonna undo that. And the last thing it has, if I click this little arrow, is text. Now there's not a whole lot of text on this. I don't even know if it would pick up the text on that book. But if there was text in this built-in picture, you could highlight the text and erase it that way also. All right, so back to our project. Click the image, click edit. Here's our Magic Studio. So we've done background remove, background generator, Magic Eraser. Now we are on Magic Grab. I use Magic Grab all the time because you can use it to erase things just like with Magic Eraser, and notice how it defaulted to click, because usually you're trying to grab a whole thing. If I click on that and I grab it, it's not going to erase it right away, but I can delete it at a later point. So now it takes me back to my image. I can move this mug around in the picture. Maybe I wanted it on the right. Maybe I want it up here. Whatever you want to do, it now has separated it from its original image. So that's pretty cool. And then like I said, you can just delete it if you want. By the way, I love to tell other people what I've learned, which is why I have this channel in the first place. So if you're appreciating what I'm putting out there, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Grab text. Let's find a photo of a book. All right, here's a nice clean one with lots of text. All right, so this was our picture. And I went to edit and I went to grab text. Notice how it sensed all of that text. You can say all text and it highlights it for you. Or maybe you just want to put like a picture on one side. So maybe I just want to click on this side. Now notice how this little section right here is very small. You can use on a trackpad your 2 fingers to slide, zoom, or you can use this slider at the bottom to zoom way in. Don't forget about that zoom slider because that is how you get detail. Now notice how there's a finger there. Let's see if it's smart enough to not delete the finger. All right, so it grabbed it and now let's delete. Look at that. Now you could add a picture there or whatever. So that's pretty amazing. Let's go back to our original picture. Edit. So background remover, background generator, magic eraser, magic grab text, image to video. Okay, so there are 2 options here, smart or custom. Smart means Canva. If you just hit generate a 3-second video, it's gonna be like, what shall we make this image do? If you say custom, you can tell it exactly what you want it to do. So let's just go to custom. I have tried playing around with the smart version, and a lot of times for me anyway, it gets really stuck as it's thinking about what to do. It's worked, but sometimes it just gets stuck. So let's just say, have realistic gold stars fall down in the image onto the table. Let's see what happens. Okay, so add video to design. How cool is that? I mean, it's exactly what I asked it for, and if you want to adjust it, you can, but look, it even does a little like gold reflection on the cup as they go by. That is so cool, and the pages bounced a little bit. I just love AI. All right, so we have the video. Okay, what's next? Magic edit. Okay, so you would think this is all magical editing. However, this is a little bit unique, so you can brush or click. I think I've shown that I like the click. I am going to click on this mug, and I'm going to have, instead of a mug, I want a vase of flowers to be there. I'm even going to request daisies because I love daisies. Let's see if it will be that accurate. Okay, so this is interesting. So we have daisies on a cup, daisies in a cup, daisies. Yeah, I'm not that impressed with this result. So we could just say generate again. Let's see what happens when we just say generate again. It might just give me the same exact generations or something completely new. Or my prompt is not detailed enough. Okay, so this is really weird. So we're gonna say replace with a blue vase. Come on, Canva. There's our vase. When you find what you want, you can say done, and there's a little blue vase. There's no flowers in it right now, but you know what? You could do that. You can grab some flowers from the elements and we can put them in there. We can say, okay, these are pretty. So I've grabbed these flowers. I'm going to size them down. That's actually really cute. So there's always a way. Just keep plugging, just keep trying. Okay, and last but not least, Magic Expand. This is another tool that I use all the time because I like this image, but what about the top half of my design? So you have the option to freeform, which is like drag it to wherever you want. You have whole page and you have one-to-one, which is just a square. I'm gonna say whole page. I want it to be as big as the whole page and expand. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna fill what it thinks will work with the empty part of your picture. Sometimes it's very bizarre what it comes up with, But most of the times, out of these 4 options, usually one is gonna work. I kinda like that. That looks like a storefront of a coffee shop. So I'm gonna pick that and say done. Maybe I don't want these lights that are hanging down here, so what I can do is click on this picture that it just expanded, go to edit, and I can go to Magic Erase, and just like that, I have a clean wall now. So that's a way to use 2 of those apps at one time. So now we have gone over all 8 Magic Studio apps. Magic Studio apps are just the tip of the iceberg. In the apps menu, there are hundreds, if not thousands, more apps, so don't forget to check those out. I hope this tutorial cleared up any questions you might have had about Magic Studio, and more than anything, I hope it helped you stay creative. For more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe to Sarah Gus Designs.